Right, okay, this is a subject I could go into in real depth, but just for respect of your own time, I will keep this as short as physically possible. We all think we're intellectual creatures, we're not, we're emotional creatures. Otherwise we would always do what's in line with what's best for us. Let's face it, we don't do that. Unfortunately, we do things because of 6 basic human needs. I'm going to start very simple, work my way into more detail. We are always trying to move towards pleasure and away from pain. So for example, you turn up, your house is on fire. Your power and water bill's on the table, you just remembered it. Very quickly, bounces out your head. You're not going to take any action over that. Now the same scenario, you turn up, your house is on fire, and you realize the person you love the most in this world is in bed and they're asleep. Then suddenly everything kicks in, you risk your life because you're now emotionally pulled. Because now you have pain of the loss of someone. Before, there was more pain associated with running in. I might hurt myself, I don't want that bill, didn't want it anyway. So the pleasure pain has to happen because now you've got a good association with saving them, bad with losing them. And often the negative or the pain is the biggest driver. Now I want to go into the reasons that we do everything. It sounds a bit of a broad thing. I didn't come up with all this myself. I've been obsessed with this stuff for very many years. If you really want to look detailed into this, go into Tony Robbins and people like that, and they can really say it a lot better than me. So the first 4 basic human needs have to be met no matter what. The first one, bringing my trusty whiteboard here, is certainty. Certainty or comfort. So this has to be met no matter what on some level. If you weren't certain that the roof was going to hold up, you wouldn't be watching this video, you'd be out of the house. Some people meet this as in they have a 9-to-5 job. Other people have to have $100,000 in the bank or they just can't handle it. They have to be certain that they got that, they have to be comfortable. It's basically a form of survival. You have to know you can get by on some level. But what would happen if you were certain about everything? If you knew everything that was going to happen at every second of every day, what would happen? You get bored. So in Mother Nature's infinite wisdom, what the next one is uncertainty or variety. So how do people meet this one? Some go on holiday once a year. That's enough for me. It'll be exciting. I won't know what's coming next. Other people become a bungee jumping instructor or do crazy stuff for their lifestyle, or they just always have to have that thrill. You can see how just flipping the higher value on these can completely change the trajectory of your life. One person always needs to be in control, the other person actually enjoys when everything is going into chaos. The next one starts to make it really interesting. Significance. Now people meet significance. Everyone has this need that they have to be special, unique. Some people, it's you are the wealthiest person in the world. You drive nice cars and you're the wealthiest one of your group of friends. Other people, you are the most giving, you're the kindest, you're the most caring. Others, everyone knows someone that no matter how big your problem is, they have a bigger problem because their big problem is their significance. As I said, all of these need to be met, but how you value these really does change your life. If significance is your highest need and is the most giving person, you might make everyone around you happy, but you might be poor your whole life and never give to yourself. If it's to appear wealthy, you might buy everything and get loans at a detriment to yourself. You know it's stupid, but you have to have your significance. The next one, love and connection. Everybody wants love. A lot of people settle for connection. So everyone kind of knows someone that got hurt once and now they got 5 dogs because when they leave the house and come back 2 minutes later, the dog goes crazy. That's not love, that's connection. You have to have an element of vulnerability for love. Now, out of all these 4 that have to be met no matter what are your top 2? The 2 that you hold highest in your life will depict why you're where you are and where you're going. I can tell you right now, the majority of people that I've seen, that I've worked with and I've researched into, the 2 top needs in the Western world, not what you want them to be, but what they actually are, what you've been living by, is significance and certainty. This makes good go-getting people, makes achievers, because you have to control, you have to have an element of control, and you're the one to do it. Makes very successful business people. But that also makes people that they're very successful in business, but then they come home to their children or their family and they can't unwind while they're trying to have connection with their children. They think, I've got to do this, got to do that, got to do that, and now their children become a bit of an annoyance. But imagine if, say, love was your number one. That person might want to give to their children, have their children have a great upbringing, always feel loved and nurtured. But maybe on the flip side of that, maybe they won't have that beautiful house that the certainty and significance one will have. But what would you prefer to have as that child? A quick explanation, this is why violence will always be in the world. Imagine you dropped out of school, you feel very insignificant. And when you feel insignificant, is one of the quickest people to snap and go for other people. Because if you feel insignificant, say if you're having a verbal battle with someone and they're much more intelligent than you and you can feel yourself losing, what do? You get annoyed and maybe throw something or start calling them names. Even though it's not intelligent, it's ridiculous. It further makes that person better. Why? Because you're making me feel insignificant, so a quick way of getting significance is, yeah, well, I can do this, you know. Even if it's ridiculous, for that second you connected with yourself and you became significant. Imagine you dropped out of school, you feel like that much about yourself and you live in the hood somewhere and now a really wealthy couple come walking down the road. They're beautiful, they're wealthy, they're bringing all the insignificance out of you and you're now holding significance as your highest value. And you pull out a gun and hold them up. Now, here's the thing. If you meet one of these on a level 5 or more, at least 3 of it becomes an addiction. How certain am I that they're gonna recognize me and they're gonna do what I say? 10, right? You got a gun in your face, I'm pretty certain you're gonna do whatever the hell I want. I have control. Maxes out this need. Uncertainty, pretty exciting, right? They might give me a load of money, they might cry, they might attack me, it's a little bit edgy. 10. Significance. I am the most significant thing in your world if I have put a gun to your head. There is nothing more significant and I have 100% of your connection. You definitely don't love me, I have your connection. You're not looking at me going, later on I might take the washing out and do this. No, you're staring down the barrel and completely in my will. 10, 10, 10, 10. Unfortunately, unless we have a consciousness shift, this is why violence will always be in this world, because it's a very quick way of going from very insignificant to significant for people who value significance very high. So the last 2 basic human needs. This next one is the secret to happiness. Never knew you were going to learn that right now, did you? Growth. So if tomorrow is going to be the same as today, you experience pain. If tomorrow is going to be less than today, you experience pain. If tomorrow is going to be better than today, you experience pleasure or happiness. Sounds very simple, but that's why everything can be falling apart around you. You can press a click on the mouse button for a holiday happening next year and you instantly start feeling good. As long as you're growing somewhere in your life, in your health, in your fitness, in your relationship, if something's growing, you can feel good or happy about that area. If people are not growing in any area, then they're dying. If you're not growing, you're dying. So if you're very much depressed and down, I could do a completely different video on depression, but you have to be receding, you're not growing. The next one and the last one, the biggest need of them all, contribution. To the Mother Teresa, the Mahatma Gandhi, the Dalai Lama of all needs, this is the highest level that you can possibly be at. This is the highest level of happiness you can ever experience, is contribution. If you can give to someone else without any intention to get anything back in return, you can truly give from your heart, from your place of love, whatever you want to call it. It's the best thing you could ever experience. That's why when you get your child in a situation where you can see how happy they are and they start to thrive, it's one of the parents talk about all the time, oh my God, it was one of the best moments of my life, because they get to see their child in a great way. Their child, that's contribution, you know. You don't, if you buy your child a new toy and the child doesn't like the toy, you're not happy. So buying the child the toy wasn't the objective, it was the child's happiness. It was contributing towards their happiness. But even with contribution, remember, if someone values contribution really, really high, they might be giving to everyone else and never to themselves. So even though it's a high need, if you live it on a too high a level, you'd be happy, yeah, progression, but you may well be homeless. They might not care, they'll be happier than you, but they'll be homeless. So this is a super quick rundown on the 6 basic human needs. I think everyone should know it. This is just brushing on the top. I'll go further into detail with these things in further videos, but that is your basic 6 human needs. What I would say now, what are the top 2 that you were experiencing or living by? And what top 2 would you have to value highest to be where you want to be? Okay, so if right now all you ever want is you want your family and your friends and what have you to love you and for you to create love for them, yet you've got significance and certainty, so when you're around them you're thinking, oh, I've got to do this, got to do that. When you're around your family, because you can change in different scenarios, when you're around your family, what top 2 would you have to value the highest? Would it be love and contribution, or love and growth? I'm guessing it'd be along those. You know, you want to experience love and you want connection with them. You want to go, right, okay. And for people that are high achievers and that have significance and certainty, a good bit of advice what I say for them is schedule it in. 30 minutes. This 30 minutes I'm going to use as my break. I'm going to put every phone away from me, go to my kids, and rather than try to get them to do what I want them to do, no matter what, my result is to connect with them. So I'll go down and I'll play with that train set that us as adults don't care about. But why do we do it? Because our result is to connect, and that child will really feel that love and connection. That is 6 basic human needs.